In this video, I'm going to show you where you can find and get the best loot in Star Citizen. Now this loot comes in the form of rare components that cannot be bought in in-game stores. To find them, you have to go to the QV logistics stations in the Nyx System. These locations were first introduced in Alpha 4.4 when the Nyx System was first released. To get there, you have to raise your reputation up to Junior Contractor with an org called Intersect. You can do this by doing various missions for them like patrols, defending a ship, or destroying a target ship. I tend to alternate between destroying and defending because they're a lot faster to do compared to patrol missions. Once you've grinded your rep up to Junior Contractor, you'll get a new mission in the Investigation tab where you gotta investigate some Vandal tech smugglers. This mission will lead you to a QV station. Now for all intents and purposes, I'm not going to talk about how to do the mission. We're only here for the loot. For this, I highly recommend getting a ship with a medical bed, for a few reasons. One of them being that the AI is actually cracked now, and a hover bike as well. It doesn't have to be in your ship, you just have to own or rented one. And it doesn't need to have a weapon, so a hover quad also works. And of course, bring armor and a backpack, heals, all that stuff. A Nursa also works as well, which you can rent from Teach's ship shop. Once you've quantumed and flown to the QV station, a few vandals will appear around it. Just ignore them and try to get to the landing pad as fast as possible. Land on the landing pad and watch the fireworks as your vandal enemies fail to navigate basic obstacles and fly into the station in a vain attempt to kill you. Remember to set your spawn inside your medical ship so you can respawn your ship if you die. Take the elevator to the entrance. If you don't have a medical ship but you have a Nursa, then call up the Nursa first, set as your spawn, then tuck in a corner somewhere so it doesn't get sent down or disappear. Head towards the central atrium. There will be many enemies to fight, but your main job is to head to the maintenance room located in the second floor on the right side of where you entered. The maintenance room has a switch that when flipped will lift a lockdown, and you'll be able to enter the security room. Beside the switch is a comport spawn, which I'm pretty sure it's supposed to spawn one comport, but they're multiplying like rabbits. I'm pretty sure it's a bug, but a bug I don't mind CIG leaving untouched. Then you have to make your way to the security room. You can shoot through the grate facing the atrium to thin out the enemies. Once you've killed everyone inside, there will be another stack of multiplying comports for you to pick up. These two spawns alone can give you about a dozen or so of these comports, which will give you a dozen or so loot runs. Then you gotta insert all the comports one by one into this server rack. But before you do that, it'd be prudent, each time you're doing this, to move all the comports to your leg or core armor to help separate between the incomplete and the slightly less incomplete comports so you don't get them mixed up. Once you're done, head back to the entrance, go to the ASOP terminal, and call up your hoverbike. Then fly the hoverbike to the docked Polaris and clear out the hangar of the ship. There will be another server rack in the middle of the hangar. Do the same thing, insert all the comports one by one until they're all 66% completed. There's supposedly a comport spawn in the Polaris, but I haven't found it. If you know where it is, let me know in the comments below. From there, go back to your hoverbike and fly to the auxiliary station. For the auxiliary station, you need to get really close to the door to trigger the next objective, which is to find the access card. There will be 3 derelicts to search. The access card will be in the pockets of one of the corpses at one of the derelicts. Once you go there, a few vandal ships will spawn, but because you're on a hoverbike, they will ignore you. The fastest way that I found to find the access card is to just fly around really close to the wreckage of the ship until the marker updates and points to one of the corpses to get the access card. Once you've found it, fly back to the auxiliary station, insert the key card, and make your way in. Your main objective is to find a laptop with the security code. There are a few locations that I know of. One spot is the security office where you have to get a fuse to open the door, another is at the bar at the back of the main lobby area, and another one is at the cafeteria past the flaming pipe. There's probably more, but those are the only ones I know. After getting the security code, go back towards the reception area and put the door code. Inside there will be another server rack and next to it is a comport spawn. This spawn seems to have some population control as there's only one. You can pick it up if you want. If you do, make sure you store it in a separate inventory from the rest of the comports. This is also why it's important to have a backpack, to make it easier to sort out these boards. Then insert the boards one by one until you're done and all the comports are complete. If you picked up the comport from the auxiliary station and inserted it, you'll also have to go back to the Polaris and insert it in that server rack, and then the central atrium security office to complete it. From there you can fly back to the main station and make your way to the warehouse and enjoy the loot. In subsequent attempts, assuming you've picked up all those comports, complete them, and stored them somewhere safe, you don't have to do the whole song and dance of going around and inserting and completing the unlock code. After flying to the QV station and parking on the pad, put everything in your storage locker. Your backpack, your weapons and ammo, The only thing you need to bring are your med pens. Set your spawn in the medical ship or the Nursa, and you're gonna do what I like to call the hospital run, or death run, where your sole objective is to make a mad dash to the maintenance room to lift the lockdown. Once you've done that, you can backspace yourself, or kill a few guys in the process and thin out the herd before you die. After that, you should be back in your ship, at which point you can get your backpack and comp board and do the same thing, but this time to the warehouse, and ideally, not die. In the warehouse, you're gonna see all sorts of rare components of various sizes, grade A and B components of various types, some rare weapon and armor loot, these boom tubes, the new Testudo armor set is in here as well, and the Vandal cryopods, which is used for this collection mission. Now I like to be picky and only go for grade A components because I have so many of these comp boards that I don't want to waste my time with Mega Fluxes or all the other grade B ship laying around here. And with the loot refresh, you might even see some previously exclusive Wiggler rewards in here, along with some subscriber flair as well. Once you're satisfied with the haul, just send everything down the freight elevator, and then backspace yourself to get back to your ship, assuming you only died once. Then fly your ship into the hangar, and tractor everything into your ship. Or so you think. See, it would be Star Citizen if it didn't fuck with you. In this case, the freight elevator doesn't work at all, because someone at CIG accidentally deleted the inventory from the QV stations, so there's no inventory for the freight elevator to transport to. This was reported in the PTU many weeks ago, and CIG knows about it, but in classic CIG fashion, they didn't bother to fix it, probably because this part of the QV station is optional. But if you're watching this after Alpha 451 or 4.6 comes out, whatever update is after 4.5, then hit that like button, subscribe and ring that bell, and disregard everything I say next because this will hopefully be fixed by then. Now according to the issue council, there's no workaround for it, but that's not true, there is, but it's not pleasant. You'll have to use this elevator instead. It will require you to clear the central atrium, ideally before going to the warehouse in the first place. Just put the things you want into this elevator, go to the central atrium, take them all out, go back to the warehouse, and repeat until you're done. The only things that will be a problem are the size 3 power plants and quantum drives, because they're the largest out of all components, but it can be done. You just have to lift them up while going in the elevator, then crouch when you let go to reduce the chances of glitching through the elevator when it falls on you. Then you just take them out like all the other components. These ones I would reserve for last, in case anything goes wrong and you get locked out of the warehouse. You'll still be able to take all the other smaller stuff you brought out. Then it's a matter of taking all the loot to the entrance where you'll put it in another elevator and take it out to the landing pad or hangar, wherever your ship is parked, and putting it inside. Currently this is the only way you can get them out, until the next update comes out and the freight elevators get fixed of course. Is it worth the hassle? Well, that's up to you. You might be able to find the smaller stuff in other locations like Hathor stations, but for the grade A shit, I only know of contested zones and the QV stations, and there are like 100 of these stations scattered around Nyx, so the chances of you running into someone is pretty slim. And who knows, maybe CIG will decide to do another loot refresh, and nerf the loot in the warehouses in a future update, in which case you might miss out on some really good loot. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed or found this video helpful, again, hit that like button, subscribe and ring that bell. Now that you've secured your bounty of new components, you're gonna want to know how to take good care of them and make the most out of them. Luckily, I've made a video going through all the fundamentals of the new engineering gameplay in Star Citizen that will keep your ship and its new components in tip-top shape, which you can watch right here.